Welcome to the Rock Camp Podcast. Rock Camp Podcast. Rock Camp Podcast. With Rock Camp founder David Fishof, music director Britt Lightning, and radio host Tommy London.
Welcome back to another episode of Rock Camp, the podcast. I am joined by David Fishof, the founder of the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, Tommy London of SiriusXM, and I am Britt Lightning, the musical director. And this podcast is brought to you by the Alexander David Bernstein Memorial Fund for Musical Performance, and the Rock Camp Alumni Foundation has a scholarship in his honor. You can go check that out at rockcampalumni.org. Today we're going to talk about 30 years of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. That is so incredible, David. Congratulations. Huge milestone. And we just had a big camp to celebrate it.
Britt, you sent me those beautiful greetings for the 30th. Maybe let them in the podcast because that was such a really touching thing. Yeah, let's do the video. So amazing to celebrate it with Roger Daltrey. Here's the guy who really pushed me to keep this thing going for years. And he loves that giving job to other musicians. He loved that it changes people's lives. He got a lot out of it from his Teenage Cancer Trust and Teenage Cancer America. And to have him, and wow. And he was amazing. He was incredible.
His voice was amazing, as good as ever. Anytime he opened his mouth, it's like chills nonstop, right? He did Love Rain Over Me, and it was like that scream and all the hits. It was just amazing to see. And you said before, you're used to seeing him in a big stadium, and he's like 2 feet in front of you doing these hits with Simon. It's amazing.
And I love the Q&A. And I'm so excited that on this episode, you're going to bring out the best of the Q&A. His advice all the time, his career advice to me, just what he tells people. And he's such a special human being. And I'm excited for this episode. Really am. Really looking forward to it and reliving those moments.
David, when you first had Roger at the Rock Camp, was it an easy convince or was it hard to convince him to do it? Did he grasp the concept and was like, I'm in? Because I know what you're saying, like he loves to help people and teach and pass on knowledge. I would think it would be easy for him to want to do it. In the beginning, did he understand what the whole thing was about?
He didn't understand it. I tried to explain to him on the phone, launching it a couple of years later. I've always talked to him on the phone about it. Finally, I said, you know what? I'm going to get on a plane. I'm going to go to England and I'm going to try to explain to him one-on-one. So I called him up and I said, Roger, I'm coming over next week to have dinner. Is that all right? He said, yeah, come over, mate. Let's have dinner. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. And we went to dinner. And I'm telling you, it was always a favorite to have a dinner with him. I mean, he's so smart. We talked about everything. But I couldn't get through to him. It was like I was playing tennis, but he wasn't hitting back in the conversation because every other word I'm trying to say, hey, Roger, I got to tell you about my camp and the camp. And then he changes the subject. Finally, after 2 hours, I'm so frustrated. I turned to him, I said, Roger, I came here to talk to you about the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. It's this thing I created. I think you would love it. You love people. And, oh, you should do this with the Thompson twins and the Village people. And I said, Roger, this is about you meeting with the idols, not the Thompson twins, the Village people. He said, well, the word can't be in London. It means something else. I'm not doing that. He didn't realize that. That's why he said, do the Village people and do the Thompson twins. And I explained to him what it was. And I said, I went to summer camp and then there's baseball fantasy camps and Michael Jordan does it. And I said, you're the GOAT. And who would you want to meet? And that's when he turned to me. He says, you introduce me to Levon Helm and I'll do your camp. I'll never forget. I said, my line was, I said to him, you know, Levon, he lost a lot of his money. And why he said that about him, because it was just blown me away that here this legend had nothing left. And he said to me, whatever you're going to give me, give it to him. I want to meet him. And that was his response. How exciting it is going to be at this upcoming camp, because not only we got Roger to come, but in this upcoming camp in New York, Amy Helm came down with her father to meet Roger. Levon was so great. He actually got to meet his idol. Then he saw these people having so much fun and he stayed one day. Then he came back the next day. And then the third day, he just said to me, where are they performing? I said, well, tomorrow night, they're at the Bottom Line, famous Bottom Line in New York City on West 4th. He says, I'm going to come. I'm going to sing with them. I'm going to surprise them. And he actually showed up and he sang with them. And it was incredible. And there's some great footage. So he had a lot of fun. He really enjoyed it. He had a lot of fun, loved meeting the people. And it turns out all those people that from that camp that he was there, many of them are on the board of his Teenage Cancer America. So he's been able to really turn these people into followers of his programs, his charitable programs. And they've been on his board and they've been helping him. And so it's been really nice. And his personal interest in the camp all the time since then. He got me Brian Wilson right after that. Every time he would meet a rock star, he'd say, you should do Rock and Roll Fans Camp. You should do Rock and Roll Fans Camp. So, I owe him so much. And it was really an honor to have him for the 30th. That's all I can tell you, is that he is the most incredible human being, not only as a rock star, but as a person. I can't sing his praises enough, because he loves his crew. He loves his bandmates. He's just passionate what he does.
Just curious, what is the update on the Village People Fantasy Camp? Are we working on that, or that's not a possibility?
Tommy, you're the only guy that signed up.
I'll be the construction worker. That would be hilarious. No, but that's a wonderful story.
I managed them for a while. Yeah, they were great. What happened? The cowboy came to me years ago and he says, why don't you put us together? And I did. And I put them together, and I worked hard and through the famous lawyer, Alan Grubman, who represented the people who own the Village People, the two London producers. And we got the rights to the name from them. And they made so much money off that band. They were so nice about giving them the name. And then we went on tour. We did a lot of dates. And it's been amazing, because I gave them off to one of my associates, and he was working with them, and they're still working, and they're still doing gigs. And whether they go to minor league ballparks and they go to conventions, they are working constantly, because there's such a novelty. It's such a great bunch of guys. It was fun. When I took on Ringo, I remember he had the line, he said, you can't represent me and the Village People, So. But they're fun. I mean, look at what they do. You ever go to Yankee Stadium and you see what they do, and they're dancing like the Village People, and even Trump uses their music, and it's unbelievable what they are. You can make fun of them, but they had some great music, and they sang. There was no lip singing.
Just when I think I know everything there's to know about David Fishof, he throws in, and I manage the Village People. There's always more things. It's like that commercial, that Dos Equis commercial, the most interesting man. That's you. That's you in rock and roll.
Funny, isn't it?
There's
Isn't
always
crazy?
something else that it's like, by the way, forgot.
By the way, I managed Seals and Croft for a little bit before they passed away, and I tried to get them to go on tours. I was going after all these bands, the Rascals years ago, and because I was the guy that was putting them together. No one else was bringing these oldies acts together. They weren't oldies. I was just going after every band I could to get them out there on the road. Well, people didn't think that was hip. The other tour is still working. There's even Turtles, and they're still working. It's incredible. Amazing. Just have fun.
You're a macho man. Macho man.
You see that? You love singing their songs.
Great songs. I can't deny it.
YMCA, it was unbelievable. And they would come to my office. It was funny. They would sit in my conference room, and that's where they would have their meetings. It was so funny.
Were they dressed up as the characters, or just in the...
No, they weren't. But they were very funny. We booked them on a lot of corporate dates. They would work a lot.
The guy who was the cowboy, whose name I can't remember, I guess the original cowboy. He used to be in all the bars in New York City. I used to always run into him in all. He stop in the dive bars, the rock bars.
He's in touch with me. I'll
Randy
hear from him
Jones.
once a year.
Randy Jones. That's it. I'm at 3 of Cups, which is like a dive heavy metal bar. It doesn't exist anymore in New York City. And I'm looking across. I go, that guy looks familiar. My buddy goes, yeah, dude, that's the cowboy from the Village People.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here. He's a sweetheart. Very, very nice guy.
He'll call me once a year. Once a year, I'll definitely hear from him. He'll say, what about doing a rock camp? And we should just get him as a guest one day.
Oh, my God. That would be so
Would be cool, right?
That would be great. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're just going to figure out the right camp. But I'll get a couple of those guys to come. I think people get a kick out of them.
What a great surprise for them to show up and like perform like a song for everyone and like just take
opening night party.
Okay. Let's do that for the New York camp.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Let me see if I could hold a Randy Jones. That would be so cool. He's such a personality too. And he's not in the band anymore. But Felipe is in the band, and the Indian, what was it? There was a construction worker, David Hodo.
A cowboy, as we mentioned. The Indian, a police officer
Felipe,
who really was a good singer, that guy.
He passed away.
Oh,
and
wow.
He wasn't in the band. They had another singer.
And then what was the fifth one? Wasn't there a fifth?
Was it Army?
Oh, Army guy, yeah.
And the sixth one could be Tommy London.
Hey, side note, you know what? One of the best Village People parody that I recall was Wayne's World, when he's spying on the girlfriend and they all dress up like a phone operator or whatever, like construction guy. And then all of a sudden they end up in a club and they don't realize they look like the Village People and they start performing. That was such a classic thing.
Over the years, representing the Monkees, who've never made the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or Village People, people always like make fun of these bands. But you know what? They were so popular and they were so colorful and they were so entertaining. That's what the business is about. Yeah, it's rock and roll, but You got to entertain people, and these people not entertain people. Okay, so let's go back to Roger Daltrey
All right,
because
let's
he'd
get
kill
back
us
to this
if he's
30.
listening to this podcast. He said, "How did you mix the village people in my great legendary appearance at Rock Camp?"
That's the one thing he didn't want.
Exactly. Talk about Simon.
Oh, Simon
Britt,
was amazing. Simon was
nonstop,
so
right?
amazing. Nonstop. Yeah, he played with all the bands 3 times. He did the final performance at the Funky Biscuit, playing that acoustic, that, all the iconic Pinball Wizard. Sounds just like the record. He's amazing. We should share a little bit of his Q&A too, because I found a lot of things that he said so interesting. And the question was asked was, who's your favorite member of The Who? And you would think he would say Pete, my brother. But he said, to be honest, it was Roger, because he took care of me. He really looked out for me. And the other guys were heavy into the drugs. Pete, kind of pushed Simon out a lot because he didn't want him to be involved in all that. And then Roger not getting into all the drugs, that wasn't his thing. Also, he's a lead singer, so it's a little harder to keep it together, I guess. Would stay with Simon and look out for him. So he was really like his older brother. He felt that way.
I want to share something that you're only going to hear on this podcast, and it will probably get quoted, but I don't know. I got sometimes I got to be careful what I say. But when Roger was having the issues with Zach, a lot of big stuff was going on this year. He got fired from the band, and Roger felt really bad because I know that he loves Zach the same way Simon. He's there to take care of the younger guys. He did it with me. He loves younger guys. He likes people. If he likes you, he'll protect you. And he always protected Zach. So obviously something was wrong if he wasn't protecting Zach. It was so interesting because then Ringo came out in the public and called him a little guy and the band, and he hurt Roger. And Roger was bothered by that because he respects the Beatles. And all of a sudden to hear that. And I remember calling him up during that whole thing. And I said, Roger, I'm not here to tell you, be the judge here, but I can just remind you that you're the one who hired Zach. You're the one who took care of Zach on the road, sometimes more than his father did, because it's his father. It's a different relationship. And Roger had that relationship with Zach, protecting him all the time. Same thing with Simon. That's Roger. If he'll go to the end of the world for you. It really bothered me during that whole thing that was going on and the bad publicity. It was Roger who really protected Zach. And I think Zach knew what he did wrong. And that's not for public. But in the end, I loved that Simon talked about that. That was just so great.
He was even saying when he was real young, he did a lot of backups on those records and stuff, singing the backups. So he's on all those. So pretty cool. A lot of history. I mean, I can't imagine growing
Greatest
up
guy.
like that.
Simon Townsend is, how many times, you don't usually bring back a rocker within the same year, but we had to bring him back because he was so good. He loved it. He wanted to come back, and
So
we
good.
wanted to have him back and give people a chance in New York to play Who music.
And then let's talk a little bit about Steve Morse, who's incredible. Another one of the sweetest guys. I mean, talk about nice people at this camp. Man, everybody is so nice. You're just like blown away by each person. Steve is so talented. His solos are insane. I know he's had some hand troubles here and there, but you couldn't have told for a second. He shredded. And his Q&A was amazing too. So maybe we'll put a clip of him in it here as well.
And he also was a Who fan, he told us. And
Yeah.
we spent some great time with him. That was great. In that signing room with him, and legendary. And then, unfortunately, Simon Kirk come in the last minute. So we got our other favorite drummer, Liberty DeVito. Liberty came in, and we had all the bands. Most of them, they decided to play Billy songs. A couple of them wanted to play All Right Now, and because they prepared the song. But Liberty's always such an amazing guest, and he hangs out, and he loves the people, and he loves to jam with you guys. So it'll be great. Very exciting to have him back, too.
Liberty's one of those rare drummers that is like a front man, like he can share some stories. You're intrigued, you're interested, and he's got the wit that usually a front man has of a band. And Billy Joel has that wit, and Steven Tyler has it. Very few drummers, but Liberty, he just always delivers the goods in more ways than one.
Yeah, he's sharp. He's funny. Yeah, very funny. Very funny.
Sharp and funny. Yeah, and he's so talented. And great father, great husband to my friend to Anna. And he's got kids all over the place. I think only daughters. He has no sons. He's got like 6 daughters. So he doesn't know how to make sons. And then we had such great campers at this camp. I mean, it was so good to see Shep Hyken came back. I've been reading Shep's books. He's quite a speaker, and talks about, deals with companies. He's a world-known speaker. And Bob Fishman, our friendly director from the NFL, and he's enjoying his retirement life, but playing that guitar. And Frank, it was so great to see Frank with his daughter, Emily, to see father and daughters come together. That was so cool. and to see the action going on in that camp, her watching her improve. And then we met this new camper from Toronto, Jared Steckles. He came prepared with a song he wrote just for Roger, and
Oh,
it was really
wow.
cool.
That was awesome. It had all these Who lyrics and growing up listening to the Who and played that at our songwriting roundtable. That was really neat. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love to hear what they come up with in the songwriting roundtable. In fact, we should share some of those on the podcast as well. We can start doing that if you have an original song. So
Cool.
we'll take submissions here. Yeah.
To me, we're still celebrating the 30th year. It's going to go on for the next 12 months, 13 months. We're going to keep the celebration going with our upcoming camps. But then we were right into Tommy Lee, which we'll do on the next podcast. But I thought the Roger camp was just an unbelievable experience, and just to see these people getting up there and their smiles, and they couldn't believe they're playing with Roger Daltrey. I mean, that was that was incredible.
Major bucket list. Major, major. I mean,
Yeah,
he's one of the true last era of real rock stars, real frontmen,
Right.
real The Who. It's like top 5 biggest bands. I feel like it's like Zeppelin, The Who, The Stones.
The Beatles. And, people just, I had so many friends just want to come in and watch him, and they were just blown away. Yeah, it was an experience. It was a great experience, and we wish him a lot of health. And I think for him, it was a great camp too, because he wanted to use the camp in his own mind to see if he could go on tour. And once he saw that the voice was there and physically he was okay, he announced the tour, which I understand is amazing venues, and tickets are going for $1,000 each and more, but it's selling out. So here you had an opportunity to play jam right next to him. There's nothing like. I think that his tour is going to be great, and he's got Simon with him, and he'll have a great band, and it'll be fun. It'll be a great experience. Hope you guys get to catch a date.
Well, wonderful. There's nothing better than also just seeing that your idol is a good person. I think that's like one of the biggest takeaways from Rock Camp too, because you just never know what you're going to get. And these guys are larger than life to everybody. And then when you're right up inside of him, and he's like, and you like you've known him for 20 years and shaking your hand and putting his arm around you. Wow, that's the big payback right there too. That not only is this person an incredible musician, but he's a really great person. That's the best.
And people were telling him, stories of whether the family had cancer, or we had a couple cancer survivors at the camp, and he would just give them extra time because, that's his passion. He has no cancer in his family. He never talks about anything in the family, and I know he's in good health, and he's really dedicated to it. And he's now Sir Roger. So thank God I didn't have to get down there and kiss his feet, but I love what he had to say. One of my favorite lines was, "He never lies." Isn't that incredible for a rock star to come out and say? He never lies. And that's what he said. Part of his success is he's very truthful.
Yeah, I love that too. And what he said, of course, makes sense. It's a lot harder to get out of a lie. So why put yourself in that situation to begin with? Then you got to create all this extra web of things. And yeah, very cool.
He should
And
remake the Liar Liar movie. Remember Liar Liar with the
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It could get you in trouble.
How many times have I met a rock star that says, "I'm going to do your camp. Don't worry about it. I'll be there," and then you never hear from them. Or call my manager, and the manager never calls me back. Roger's always honest. He'll tell you, "Yeah, will you do this? Sorry, I can't do it, but I'll do this." It's really terrific. It's amazing.
Awesome. Well, yes, congrats again on what an incredible camp for the first camp of the year on our 30th anniversary year. Amazing. All right, well, let's wrap it up here, and we're going to let you listen to the Q&As. So enjoy all of that. And I just want to remind everybody this podcast is brought to you by the Alexander David Bernstein Memorial Fund for Musical Performance, and the Rock Camp Alumni Foundation has a scholarship in his honor. You can go check that out at rockcampalumni.org to apply for a scholarship to attend Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. We want to support and encourage kids on their musical journey and help their emotional health. So thank you so much, Mark Bernstein, who's in charge of the Alexander David Memorial Fund for Musical Performance. See you next episode.
The legend. Hello. All right, this is going to be the shortest introduction, but we're all here today. I'm doing this 30 years because of this gentleman, so give it up to him, because he's given everyone a chance to go through Rock Camp. You encouraged me to do this, even when I was down and out. Yeah, you did. It was because of you. And we've been able to change many lives. I want to share a story with you. We did a songwriting camp recently with Linda Perry. And remember how we called you? And you and I, we took these kids from Harlem. We took them on a tour of the British Rock Symphony. Remember those kids? 3 of them are Grammy Award winners. Yes, and they came to songwriting camp, And they were so motivated by you on that tour. They've written three Grammy Awards, 3 of them. And it's because of you. You do more than that for everybody. So it's more than a rock star. He's the charity work, what he does for everybody in this world. We have some survivors here, so I bet you guys have questions, but anyways, because I'm a fucking star. Yeah, you take my mic. Who's fucking useless? Because I paid the guy. Here, Roger. Give me this one.
Hello, Ollie. Hey! Thought I was going deaf.
Yeah. So, anyways, they've been working hard. They had a great time with Simon yesterday, and they promised not to play loud.
That's not what he told me.
Anyway.
What is it about? I've got to ask this question because it seems to happen all the time. Is that all you young musicians or amateur musicians, dare I say, want to do is turn it up as loud as you can and thrash it. You should think about dynamics, dynamics of everything. If you're just going to make a racket, that's all it's ever going to be, a racket. It's never going to be music. So think about it today when you're doing it. Sometimes it's better to turn down and play better. When you turn it up, you don't play as good because you're struggling to hear what you're doing in respect to everybody else in the band. And drummers are always too fucking loud. But the way to solve that is electric drum kits, and everyone seems to be doing that now. Thank goodness, because when you're in a small place, you can get the balance right with the sound of the drums.
So, you've enjoyed camp over the years. You told me it's fun, to be fun.
Yeah, I lied.
I told them not to. They're not auditioning for The Who. They're just supposed to have fun. And they're all nervous. They're all nervous out there. So, we're going to calm them down. But let's take some questions, because it's all about you guys. Okay, stand up.
In the early days, we were in the studio together and working things out as we went along. But that all changed in the early 70s when Pete discovered the synthesizer. And he kind of worked on his own. And it was kind of weird because from then on, although the music was fantastic, what he was producing was incredible. Who's Next was such a groundbreaking album. But what it did to us as a band, I feel, in retrospect, is it stopped that organic process of working it out in the studio. The little glitches that make things special. And then the accidents that happen, you go, well, I know it's not like the way the demo is, but it's better. We didn't get the chance to do that. I think the biggest mistake we ever made in the studio was basically following his demos, which were always brilliant, thank goodness. But let's see where we go from here. I made an album with Wilco Johnson about 10 years ago, a bit longer. And he was, at the time, we thought he was going to be dead by the end of the album, because he'd been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and given a year to live. And this was ticking down the last month of his life. But that was organic. We did it in the studio, and that album is fantastic. There's a rawness about it. The songs are much simpler than Who's songs, but there's an edge to the sound that you get. It's not overproduced. There you go. And I've got to say, you say thank you, for what we do for you. We don't do it alone. Thank you, all of you, for the support you've given us. That means everything to me.
Roger, hi, this is Sri, and really really honored to be in this room with you. My goodness. The Who was the official band of my Boy Scout troop when I was growing up, just saying. So you've performed thousands and thousands of shows, and I'm sure you performed hundreds of thousands of times the Who songs. Do you have a particular favorite Who song to perform? And do you have a particular favorite Who album?
Not any one particular song to perform. I think the one that I kind of get drained to emotionally, totally. You have to be totally involved in it, and it takes no prisoners, is Love Rain on Me. And it's like walking a very, very high wire with a hole in your shoe. So it's kind of, you really are on the edge when you do that one as a singer. But the Who songs, there's something about the way Pete writes that drags it out of you, and it has to come from such an internal place. There's no easy ride with any of them, so I love all of them. I love singing all of them. The only one I get bored with is Won't Get Fooled Again. Not because of the song, just that we're stuck to the track. I play that song with my little solo band, and we play it on instruments, squeeze boxes and all sorts of other instruments. No track. And we can change the track wherever we like, and it's much more fun than being stuck to that bloody thing. Oh, God. Counting it down. Give me a gun.
Right here. Roger, my name is John. I thank you for the rock and for everything you do for teen cancer.
Oh, that's my pleasure. That's my drive in life.
My question is, books, articles, all point to the instance where Keith sat in with the band and played Roadrunner and broke the drum pedal as a defining moment. I'm curious if there was one point, if not that, where it clicked in your head and you said, lads, we're on to something quite special here.
No, that happened when within probably 2.5 minutes of him sitting on behind us. His rhythm was just something different than all the other drummers that had ever played with us. And Bo did with his Roadrunner. I'm a Roadrunner, honey! You remember that one? And halfway through that song, like I say, about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes into that song, he started doing something with the rhythm that it was like putting a key in the ignition of a racing car. And I thought, this is it. That was a great thing, about being the singer in those little clubs and pubs and bars. This is a big stage to what we used to perform on, So the singer I was always out the front, right on the edge, and they were always behind me. All I ever did was hear them. I never ever saw them. So all I ever did was feel the noise they made. And when I found Pete to join John as the bass player, and then we had different drummers, as soon as Keith came in, that feeling, this is something special. And music is all about what it does to you, and that really moved me. And I thought, this is what it's all about. And we got lucky. We did get lucky.
On a non-related note, Roger, you're a knight now. Have you ever thought about becoming a prince? Because I hear there's an opening.
Knighthoods are a double-edged sword, but it's great for the charity because those honours, they're ancient honours. They're from Victorian times, and in a lot of ways in today's world they're unfit for purpose because so many people have helped me develop the Teenage Cancer Trust and the Teen Cancer America programs. And they are the unsung heroes. They are the ones that really deserve the honours. but they seem to be way down the list of ever getting them. And too many of the knighthoods in England, I feel, go to civil servants who are just paid to do a job well, and I don't get that. Service, charitable service, and service above what you're paid to do, they're the people that should be honoured. And there's thousands of them out there. Thousands. And if I could give them all the knighthood, I would.
Hi there, Roger. I'm Mike. I'm from the UK. And I'm a loud drummer.
You're a what?
A loud drummer.
I won't hold that against you.
You once said that you've got to use it or you'll lose it. And I have to say, I've seen you over 140 times out there. I've been waiting. And your voice is better than it's ever been. So how do you plan to carry on using it so you don't bloody well lose it?
Well, it's kind of weird. I don't plan anything. I'm a kind of letterbox kind of guy. If something comes through the letterbox that it's interesting, I'll have a go at it. And I got lucky with because I did have a pre-cancerous problem back in the early 2000s, where it became very difficult to hit the notes. But I managed to find the genius of a vocal surgeon who tidied me up. I don't know what else he did with me while I was out on the bed. But I can sing a lot higher now than I could before the op. I just love what I do. I mean, I just love singing. It's when I feel most complete. So I have to kind of keep pushing it out. I'm here today. I mean, I know I had to cancel in January, but I had some very, relatively serious health issues to deal with at the time. So this is a toe in the water for me. I've done no singing since the end of the Who tour, but way back in October last year. So the voice is still there, but it's the rest of the body is starting to say, fuck you.
Hi, Roger. I'm Frank, originally from Boston, but I live in Delray, Florida. So I've seen you a whole bunch of times, not 140 times, but I did see this last tour at Sunrise when you performed.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredible. You were hitting all the notes, bellowing them out like you were 20 years old. It was unbelievable. My buddy and I we're looking at the video screen, and you went 2 hours and 15 minutes straight. We're saying, can you give him a break? We want him to finish the show. We didn't have any idea. You're in incredible shape.
I think a lot of the audience is out there hoping that we'll actually die up there. I mean, why not? I mean, what a way to go.
Well, eventually, but not too soon. So here's my question. I grew up loving quadrophenia, and more and more, it's still in here. You guys are music is very emotional and passionate, with also high quality. What is? I also think Who by Numbers is a very underrated album. But what is, if you had to pick one album that you particularly like, or your favorite, if there is one?
I haven't got a favourite. They're all They're all very, very different. The narratives of all Pete's kind of, really, like Tommy was not a Pete. Wasn't written by Pete Townshend. It was written by the Who. People forget that. John Entwistle wrote Cousin Kevin, and Keith wrote the Uncle Ernie bits. So it wasn't just a Who project, and that kind of had more of a direction in the narrative. Quadrophenia it's kind of it's been talked about so much and turned into a film and everything else, and a ballet and all those things, but really is just a stream of consciousness about a time in your life, and that's all it is. But it works. But dealing with it, because Pete has all these visions of it, all these other things, and he's got such a complicated brain. But you know that somewhere in there, there's a stroke of genius, and just follow him and you'll be all right.
Hey Roger, kind of jumping off of that, Pete always said you were the perfect voice for his songs, but one thing...
Who did he say that to?
He said it quite a lot. He did, but...
Who the fuck did he say to me?
Okay, no, he did, but here's the point of my question. Is he would always say he'd get nervous, especially this last album. He was in the press saying this because he hands over the songs to you, and you took quite a while to get back to him, he said, on this last album, because he said you have to, much like Who by Numbers, which you did, there were some songs you just said, this is too personal, I can't sing it. But it sounds like you go through a process with Pete's lyrics and get to, could you just describe all these years, what got you to that place to finally say, yes, Pete, I can sing this song?
I have to find you know, who's the guy singing this, and who am I singing it to? I have to kind of act it in a way. I mean, for instance, I was talking about this to Simon Townsend last night over dinner. There's that, what was it, what's the song called? Faces, just kind of cha-cha. What's that song on Who album? I can't remember the title. Who was that girl up against the wall? Yeah. Was it? Oh, She Rocked My World, that's it. I mean, because I sang a straight kind of vocal on that at first, and I thought, well, it's all right. It's got, where's it coming from? It didn't. And then I thought, the way to do this is like, yeah, you're off with a dream. Oh, no. Faces in bounds. That kind of different, totally different way of singing. And I think it worked. I think it gave the song a character that it's actually not in the lyric to do it like that, but you have to kind of invent it in your head. Does that make sense? It's hard to sing about singing. It's hard to talk about singing. I mean, it really is, because a lot of the time I don't know where it comes from. It's just the spirit, you know.
Right back here.
Okay.
Hi, Roger. I want to start by saying it's an honor to have you here, and you, someone who's so famous, had so much success, just being here around us and in our presence. I want to thank you for being here. I have two parts of this question for you. If you could go back to when you were young and give yourself one piece of advice, knowing what you know now of how your life played out so well, I would hope, is your view of it. What would you say to yourself, and also what would you say to younger generation like mine?
Oh, God. Well, I know what I'd say to the younger generation of today. I'd say, turn your bloody phones off. Learn to have a conversation. Learn to talk to each other without texting. But I mean, it's so difficult to give advice in a different. You've got no idea what it was like to grow up post-war London. I mean, I was born in an actual V1 raid before the V2s, and my mum went into labour. We were on a platform of a tube station in London, because people used to go down there as shelters. And it was February the 29th, 1944. But my mum, she said, no way, he's only going to have a birthday once a year. So she gritted her teeth and hung on. And then this air raid went on, and they were the V1 doodlebugs. You could hear them coming. Funny noise they used to make. And then when they stopped, you had to worry. That's when you put your fingers in your ears, your hands on your head, and just hope for the best. But anyway, when I came out of hospital, both ends of our street had disappeared. You know, literally one end to the other. And they then evacuated us up to Scotland. So that was my first year of life. So you imagine the trauma that's being transmitted to me from everything around me, my mother, you know, because it all goes through us in the end. we're wired, we're hardwired. But everything that's happened in my life has kind of worked out, but you just have to do it honestly. And try never to tell lies. Telling lies is the fatalist thing, the worst thing you can do. You know, once you tell a lie, look at Prince Andrew. Just have to tell the truth. You know, it's much easier.
Right here, a couple more.
Hey, Sir Roger, it's such a pleasure to meet you. My first album that I ever bought was Live at Leeds. But what I'm curious about is what kind of routines or care do you do to keep your voice as strong as it is?
I don't do anything. I was very lucky. I started doing, experimenting with the drugs as we all did in those days. But every one I took made it so that I wasn't singing as well. So I took them once and thought, that's not for me, that's not for me. I did like a bit of grass now and again. But all the chemical stuff, I got very lucky because I used to hang out with Owsley, known as the Bear, out in California, who was making all the acid at the time. And he pulled me aside at Monterey, and he was dishing out tabs of acid to everybody. And I went up for my one. He said, no, I'm not giving this to you. And he said, whatever you do, Roger, he said, I've watched you. He said, you've got so much energy. He said, stay away from the chemicals and you'll be all right. And he gave me a joint that was like that. It was wrapped in the Stars and Stripes. And he said, this is a little present for tonight. He said, you'll have a good time.
So, Johnny, stand up. That's our ladies. Talk loud. I know.
Why am I standing up under a greenhouse? I'm trying to write the results of my song.
What? We had a spotlight, you know?
How are you, Roger? My name is Soho Johnny. Thanks for spending time with us tonight. It's an experience. It's wonderful. I have two things for you. If you could go back, is there one aha moment, or is there one event or one person that you met that really, really made a difference to catapult the Who to the levels that it got? Question one. Question two, is there anything that my foundation could do with yours to help with the show or anything for your cause?
I didn't hear the second question.
He has a foundation, and he wants to talk about teenage cancer because he wants to help you with your charity.
I'll just give us some dosh. Simple as that, and fundraising is extremely difficult. But I've got to hand it to America. There's something about America. When you get an idea and you think it's a good one, you go for it. You go for it. And the support we've had from America is fantastic. Our system in England is supposed to be socialism. Avoid it like the plague. It doesn't work. It makes it, if you're not careful, it becomes, we are the land of no. Well, I've got this great idea, I want to do this. No. And that's, so, what was the other question? I'm trying to think.
If there was one thing that happened in your career, a person or an event or something that made a difference to get the Who to the level that it did, is there anything you could point to?
I'd have to handle that. I'd have to hand that to Kit Lambert, our first serious manager. He was the son of Constant Lambert, who was the founder of Sadler's Wells Theatre and Ballet Company in London. And so he came from a classical background. He spoke 5 different languages fluently, I mean seriously fluently. He read ancient Greek. He believed in, because we were this generation coming out of the rubble of the war. Our parents were all, we didn't realise it at the time. And I didn't realise it until really they were really on their last legs of life. What we've been dealing with, they were all shell-shocked. From the day she died, my mother, if there was ever a thunderstorm, she'd get under the table and scream. She was back in the Blitz. And so that all through our lives, we were living with parents who were kind of emotionally shut down. And, but Kit Lambert recognised that the energy we had, because that's the energy of youth, which which if you can inspire, doesn't mean you can create anything. He said that this pop music's great, this rock music is great, but it can be so much more. And that's when we got the idea to make Tommy a rock opera. And in my opinion, and I do say this, and I've said it often, is in my opinion, it's the best opera ever written. It deals with really serious subjects. It's got incredible melodies, and it's actually got some lyrics. Because I don't know whether you've ever been to grand opera. There's certainly not many lyrics.
All right, one more. Oh, okay, maybe two more. Let's go right here. He's wearing the Who outfit here. Let's go. Talk loud.
So, Roger,
Stand up.
So I'm a resident here of Florida. Welcome to our wonderful free state. And you performed at the place where I live, the Ocean Reef Club, 3 years ago. And unfortunately, my husband was ill at the time. I had tickets to our small 350 person venue and could not attend. But you got to spend the afternoon with one of my best friends, Lisa Dykes, who took you in the golf cart all around. You had good fun with her, and she shared that with me. So I'm so glad that you've enjoyed it, and we hope you'll come back. Okay. Trust me, not a problem. But my question is, and thinking of you being there in Key Largo and that the wonderful place it really is, work is hard, it's grueling, touring is grueling. What do you do for fun? How do you decompress? What is it that you love to do away from music?
Well, this is, I think, why I've survived, really, because the other side of my life is exactly the opposite from the road and the madness of rock and roll and all that, the drugs. I'm a farmer. I moved to the countryside in 1971. Well, actually in 68, but I found the place where I live now in 1971, and I bought a farm, and I got to know the people, and I thought, these people have got something that completely out of the world that I live in, and I want to find out about it. They had a grounding and a rhythm that I thought, this is something special. So I spent the other half of my life creating the land which I love, that I live on, that will hopefully feed my kids when I've gone. I love landscape. I really love England. I'm dedicated to England. It's a great little country. It really is a great little country. I'm worried about it as the world is changing so fast. But if you could see what I've built there, I had the vision, and I know you had it. I know, but I mean, if you're always welcome if you're ever in East Sussex. Pop in, have a brewery, make the best beer in England. And in 1979, my mate from the pub, we got drunk one night, and he just bought an excavator. And we thought, well, we could have some fun with that. So we started to build some leaks, and I built about 20 acres of water, which today have grown up. Now the trees have all grown up around it. It is so picturesque, so beautiful, and there's like I say, the rhythm of it. That it goes quiet in the winter, and it goes grey, and the leaves are on the ground. But then in the spring, when it comes back to life, you're reborn every year. So that's the other side of my life. It's completely the opposite. I sit in silence for hours, just happy.
Yes, sir.
Sir Roger, my name's Hamish. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
something does.
So if you're saying you're instantly, you know your throat, right? So
Yeah.
did anything happen then, or what?
No, it does what it does. It's different every night, you know. You go for the notes, and sometimes the voice is tired, and it goes, no, thank you. Oh, that's all matters then. I mean, but there's some nights when you go. I mean, there was one night, I think it was in Vegas, where I just could not get the end of Love Rain on Me out at all. So I just said, maybe not tonight. Then I thought, oh fuck it, have another go. and it came out second time, came out perfect.
Roger. Yeah, okay, Britt. Come on over.
What are you doing? Oh my God. Not those again.
That's for him to take on.
David, you've made the biggest fucking mistake you've ever made in your life. David, have you got no idea of the reputation of The Who and cake?
Well, I heard what you did with Sebastian Bach and the cake on a cruise ship.
That was all true.
Thank you, Britt. That's so beautiful. It's only because of Roger.
I won't do it to you, David.
Roger, 30 years, your inspiration. Thank you so much.